What's good, y'all? It's your boy Patchworks, and yes, we are back for another installment of Shot by Patch. But this one right here is super special. I'm not even gonna lie. Not every day do you have someone who has a resume like hers on your show. Kalia Clark, welcome.
Thank
you so much.
No, thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be able to sit down with someone and they want to, I guess you would say, give you your flowers. I've done a lot of interviews, but I feel like this is special because you've come on my show.
Yes.
You've been on my set, a new set actually. So you're embodying the new Who's Styling Who. I've been doing this for a very long time. But when I got to meet you, when I interviewed Emerging Brand, Benji and Co., I saw something in you from right then and there. So when you invited me back, any man that could give me video footage in less than 3 hours on the same day you got me for an interview.
I appreciate it and thank you. And also shout out to Benji and Co. Because if it wasn't for Miss Clark right here, she has definitely blessed us.
You know what the blessing is, though? I think as African American people, we have to salute those that are doing things. What I like about just being a stylist and what I stand for is that I always fought for streetwear. I am known in the game, I guess, as a young lady. She's a celebrity fashion stylist. She goes by the name of Alicia Crutchfield. She always was like, Kalia, you embody urban luxury. When streetwear was out, I never stopped. I always repped Sean John. I always still repped our streetwear brands because that's all we had.
Yeah.
It's good to do high end. I know most of us, that's what we inspire for. You know, when we get money, the first thing we do is run and we get high-end designer names.
Gucci, Louis, Prada.
Right. Yeah. For me, I always looked at every brand that I met as high-end because it takes a lot to own something. If we as people supported each other the way we support different ethnicities, you got to think about it. Everybody could be black.
Yeah.
You know, but we can't be Jewish. We can't just be Chinese. We can't just be any other race, but everybody can tap into our culture. We can't just tap into being, and yeah, so I always felt it was my responsibility when I got in because I got in, you know, it was a way in because somebody helped me. So why not help somebody else? And that's what the Who's Styling Who platform is. I think people like Shampoo of YNBS Productions and Media that gave me the opportunity. I came in for an interview just like this, and Prince at the radio station, Street Market Radio, was like, you should be Shampoo's co-host. Wow. And I was like, huh? But the interesting part was I always wanted to be on radio. I looked at people like Wendy Williams and Angie Martinez, and I listened. Absolutely. And then when I got the opportunity to go on internet radio, because internet radio was just starting, I think, when I got on. I didn't even really know much about it. Okay. So I was on a show, Smoke Sessions, like I said, with Shampoo. So he opened that door for me. In styling, it was Roger McKenzie who led me to the water. It was Clifford Ray who brought me in on set to intern for a movie, My Brother, and I left the movie with the credit as wardrobe supervisor. Wow, that's a huge credit to have when you come on set as an intern, because everybody worked. You know, I thank everybody that I worked with: Eric Santiago, Dion Stewart, Andrew Caesar. That's all. I could sit here all day and just give thanks to people. I'm an award-winning celebrity stylist because of Misa Hilton. I got to work for June Ambrose. You know, I feel like I'm Jada Pinkett. You know, it's like how Jada was in Hillman. You know, she got to kind of hustle her way in. I'm the teen mom that didn't get a show. I remember being branded with so many different labels.
Yeah.
That when I finally kind of made it into the industry, I was nervous because I knew so much, but in different aspects of life. I, was young. I was in the club scene, so I saw everybody out clubbing, and then you meet people on sets, and they're like, "Hey, that's the girl that was, dancing."
Yeah.
You kind of get judged. When I come from the era where, the gangsters were gangsters. There was no social media, so you knew who everybody kind of was just by their appearance. Now you don't know that. With social media, anybody could rent something. They can, save their money up for bottles.
Yeah.
And so you don't really know that the times have changed. And I'm just happy to kind of still be in it because I've seen so much.
Yeah. Still in it and still true to it.
Right.
Like, one thing I notice about you, and as well as things that you promote on your platform, you are for the creative. People who are constantly creating, people who are constantly taking their dreams to a whole nother level. At what point in your life did you really realize that this is something that you wanted to do?
When I was set on it on my own. When I first came into the industry, I assist. So I got to work with all the big stylists. And I got to work with Jay-Z and Mariah Carey and R. Kelly and Tyrese. And this was all assistant work. But back then, a lot of people would take people's assistant work and kind of make it their own so they can elevate. I never wanted to go out on my own. I enjoyed walking around with the black card, you know what I mean? Like, I had budgets. When you go on your own, you see it firsthand. Now it's your requesting certain things. And, when I came into the industry, the game was changing. All the top players, were kind of, there was no big budgets because there were so many people doing the same thing and everybody was just vying. So if it was an $8,000 budget, a new director will come in and be like, well, I'll do it for $5. And I know a stylist that'll do it for $2 or do it for $1. And that really affected the game. I remember coming in thinking, like, did I make the right career choice? I worked really hard. I remember on set, you would never ask for a picture. Now that's what social media, hey, can I get a picture? You spoke when you were spoken to. Always remain busy. Now you have to worry about people coming in on set and taking your job. Like, if you don't look the part, maybe the artist may look at somebody else and be like, I want to look like that. So it's just a constant evolving and changing yourself. I'm blessed that, brands and people like you really appreciate what I bring to the table. I've been doing it for a long time, so I'm glad that I'm able to do platforms like this to kind of really speak, because being a woman in this industry, being black, it's not an easy thing. A lot of men see us for one thing. I'm a connect, and I remember naming myself Casey the Connect because I was tired of not getting the credit for connecting people. I was behind so many things and no one ever knew because they never said Kalia. Just with brands and connecting people. So Shampoo was like, well, you need to call yourself Casey the Connect, because I was Kalia Clark. So I'm like, I am going to call myself Casey the Connect. I mean, it was a I kept calling myself Casey the Connect. So he was like, just call yourself Casey the Connect, because it's kind of like, just, make it work for you. So
just recently, I'm not gonna lie, I was creeping on your page, okay? And what you say is real. So my next question to you is, how did you link up? Because you've had a long career. You know a lot of people. I see you with Method Man. I see you with Raekwon. I see you with a lot of people right now who were back. They were big at one point. Now they're not the new crowd, right? But then I see you with Fabio Foreign. How do you still reinvent yourself to not only still have those connections, but have newer connections with the younger artists and the younger crowd that actually our taste is totally
you know what it is? I remember giving Fabio Foreign a starter jacket. Shout out to Alvon Miller for Burn It Down group. he invited me. Fabio was performing at, it was like a Halloween party. Me, I don't like to go out unless it's a purpose. So even though you may see me out, you may see me dancing, there's always a method to my madness.
Yeah.
I'm there, you know, for the hit. And I have brands like Starter and different brands that really support me and give me product. And you know, you walking around with a Brooklyn Nets Starter jacket, you lit. And then I gave him, he had just performed, and I'm like, okay, he's hot right now, so I don't mind staying, because I normally don't do the whole thing. So I stayed, and right as he performed, my friend was actually on stage. So I walked up, and I'm like, here, and he's like, you don't want a picture? I'm like, nah, this is for you. And he was like, no, let's take a picture, because most artists aren't used to, well, now they are, because, you know, it's all about giving to get that picture. But back in the days, like, a lot of people weren't used to getting something. They're always used to asking, can I have a picture? And then I'll give you something. Me, I always give.
That's dope.
That's my trademark, giving.
And that's one thing that I noticed about you when I did your show. Your attitude was so giving. That's one reason why once I just thought about doing something like this, I was like, if I could get her on this show, that would be so crazy.
Well, you got me. You gotta speak these things to existence.
So let me ask you a question. They label you as the product placement queen, and as you've already heard, guys, you know, the list is long. How does somebody get with a big brand like Starter? Like, how did that even happen for you to be able to have that connection?
Well, as a celebrity fashion stylist, I have tons of brands, but I want to thank JD Williams. He was Bodie from The Wire.
Shout out, hold on, wait. Shout out to JD Williams, because you want to know what? Not to take away from you, but I actually acted with him in a movie.
Well, that's awesome. He was my first celebrity client.
That's wild.
I remember meeting him, and I asked him, I'm like, do you have a stylist? Because that was me this is me already styling with, you know, Roger and the big names assisting. And he's like, well, I have tons of people that kind of like, you know, are stylists, and they pull from me. I was like, well, with your permission, can I use your name as well? Because, you know, I work with tons of other brands that I know, and I think they would love to send you product. Once he gave me the go-ahead, boy, you couldn't tell me, because he had a hot show at that time.
The Wire was big.
So I used his name. Any brand that came out, I would reach out to them. Hey, I have, and what's crazy is I actually got invited. He invited me one time to the Wire set. I was like, oh, I'm coming with
that's
all
huge.
the product, and that's what I did. I'm an in the street stylist. I meet brands and I show them what I can do before I charge them, because if I've done all these things, you gotta pay me at some point. You know what I mean? Because it's like you'll go and you'll pay somebody else just off of them talking.
Yeah.
But me, I've already delivered. Now, I don't suggest people do that. That's the worst in business. You know, if you come with something, which is a skill, my skill is placement. My skill, I'm not the best stylist. I know tons of stylists, but I know how to get my product or someone else's product on that rack and make you want to wear it. I'm gonna place it. I'm going to continue to place it. I can place this shirt 11 times on 11 different people and give you a whole different look every time. One might wear with ripped jeans, one might wear with jean shorts. This is gray, my favorite, gray and blue. Gray sweatpants for my guys. You know, I love a man in a gray sweatpants.
Wait. I did hear about that. You will explain yourself.
Listen,
Yes.
My husband will wear a gray sweatpants tuxedo. I love, it's a basic pants, but worn the right way. Oh, and it's not about the bulge, because I don't want to look like a total freak.
No, you're
but
not.
it's just it's a good quality sweatpant can just make you look Esquire if
Gotcha.
worn right. And that's what I love about the gray sweatpants. I even did a song about it. The gray sweatpants song.
Get out of here. Hold on. Wait. We're
I'ma
going to
send
make
you
sure we get a bite of that in this.
I'm gonna send it to you, and you could play it in the
Absolutely.
clip. Gray sweatpants to me are like what men think about sundresses. I love men in general. I think the black man is undervalued. I think
Ladies, y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Hold on. Wait.
what I love
is talking right now.
No, what I love about
Yes.
being a stylist, I get to dress. If I had to pick, and I love my women, but I love to dress a man. They're easier. They listen to you. And, your opinion matters. Sometimes with women, especially women that are, a lot of women, we have masks, and it's so hard. Like we could be having a bad day, but I'm a mother, so I can't, no one cares if my daughter's sick. They need me to do the job. And I remember being in the industry early, and my grandmother was on her deathbed, and that's the day I got the call to work with June. So I had to make a choice. Do I go to my grandmother on her deathbed? I mean, I still went, but I went to work first. And June was like, I heard your grandmother, I was like, yeah, well, I just want to show face regardless of, I don't know if this project is going to continue, but I was called.
And you want to know what? That right there, a lot of people don't understand that, because they'll make certain things more important than what's actually happening. And not to say that your grandmother passing was
no.
not
It
something
was,
that would touch you.
No, but you got to make...
At the end of the day, like I'll give you a story real quick. I was doing this shoot for a well-known Instagram influencer, and I had a guy that was supposed to come with me, and unfortunately he had a situation as well where someone in his family had passed, but he didn't call me until 4 hours after that he was supposed to be there.
It's a tricky
So
one.
at the end of the day, and this is for all my young folks out there, okay? Remember, no matter what happens in your life, you always have responsibilities. And for you to actually still do that, I think that's why you're at the level you are right now, because you know what it means to just stand by your word.
Listen, no one cares about your problems. You get opportunities. Opportunity comes knocking in different ways, and no one is really, people are really big on religion and the universe and God. Yeah. So God never picked anyone to be in the industry. Exactly. Not one.
Not one person.
Yeah. We all have desires and dreams and hopes and aspirations. So that's why when people make it, the first thing they say, I thank God, because you did pray for them. You did pray for that particular. For me, I hustled hard.
Yeah.
I did things that a lot of people wouldn't do. I remember jumping over someone on set because I heard on the walkie-talkie the client needed an umbrella. I was all the way in the back seat, and that's what I was known for. Oh, Kalia gonna jump over you to get to there. And I taught a lot of people. People helped me. That's why my platform is always who's styling who. I remember being a stylist. I remember brands like Gino Green coming out and fighting for them. And people were like, what? I'm like, no, let's put them in the front, the 9s. Then Chris Brown wore it. Then it was
Gino Green was so fire.
Right, but you guess what's so crazy? The bootleggers were ahead of them. Yeah. So it's like, they have watches out, but Gino Green's not pushing out watches. Yeah. They have sneakers, bootleggers got sneakers, but they don't. That was a really Stapleton brand that taught me, big shout out to Will and rest in peace to Will. I watched people like him and Phil Pabone, rest in peace to Phil Pabone. There's so many people that don't get their flowers. And you need shows like this, shows like Who's Styling Who.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't know who you follow. Like before social media, man, there's just so many people who really have put in work.
Yeah.
And I don't have 100,000 followers, so you don't see me on the top pages, but I know my resume. I've been in this game for 20 years. My hits are Jay-Z, Rihanna, Neo, Chris Brown. Like, I was on set because my boy Jared Chocolate, who played for Bring the Noise, Bring the Funk, he's an amazing artist. Like, I was able to be, he was on set being the drummer for Rihanna. He's like, come on, Kalia, come style me. I'm like, all right, cool. Come to Rihanna. I get on set. I call my girl Seville. Yo, bring your earrings for Rihanna. So that way when I talk to Rihanna, you know what I mean? I got something to give her. When I meet Rihanna, I'm like, hi, Rihanna. This is my friend Seville. We have these leather earrings. If they were like, you know, the gold, the door knocker earrings. My girl was the first to like really wrap them with like leather, snakeskin. So we gave them to her. She single-handedly has had all the hits just off of word of mouth, you know, promoting. Black people were the #1 consumer. I remember when T.I. said, let's boycott Gucci.
Yeah, I remember that. Expeditiously.
Yeah, but boycotting, right? You can't boycott and then turn around and march in like Salvatore Ferragamo,
exactly,
Burberry. You can't do that. Like, if we're gonna stand for something, we're the number. Right now, if we never wore designer again, guess what? Designers, the houses would never care.
Yeah.
You would care, because guess what? The first time we get money, the first thing we do is go spend it at those houses. The houses were created in the 1800s. If we go back to history, we were never allowed there. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So we created fashion. You had Dapper Dan come and he was
Shout out to Dapper Dan.
He was making designs that the houses weren't making yet.
Yeah.
So I love that they brought him in, but look at right now, April Walker has to sue Off-White because that legendary W, Off-White, Virgil decided, you know, that's a W for everybody, you know, and she supports me. She's a main supporter of the Who's Styling Who show. Imagine being a young girl looking in the source and seeing Walker Ware. Now I can call her on the phone. Like, you know, like,
crazy.
I didn't go to school for this. I hustled my way in. Hey, look at me, I can do this. Hey, look. I didn't know the blueprint. Every mistake you could possibly make, I could do. Shout out to people like Mia Quinn, who I was able to work.
Whoa. Who?
Mia Quinn.
Shout out to Mia Quinn. Let me tell you a story. Do I need more champagne?
Yeah,
you need some more
Where's
champagne.
the Moet? No.
No. This is a Bel Air night.
A Bel Air.
Because you mentioning that name right there is something special.
And that's how I was able to work with 50 Cent. So big shout out to her. You know, the one thing about this game, I'm not afraid to give to name drop, because people have helped me. I did not get where I got a Pamela Watson. There's just so many. I think anyone, while you're opening that, this will be my time to just thank everyone that has supported the Who's Styling Who show. It's been a journey. It really has, and I'm grateful to really still be in this. If I tell you my age, then
nah, you don't look a day over 25.
And I'm not a day over 25.
So at the end
divide
of the day,
that and multiply it, I am not. So shout out to all the young girls. You know, I actually think this generation has made us older folks step our game up, because I remember, you know, coming in this game, a lot of us worked for free. New generation is like, I'm not doing it.
New generation don't understand that.
We don't care about.
They don't understand that.
We don't think nothing is hot. That's and if you look at people like Method Man, his son is coming out. You know, they have their group, and I got to style him like his son.
That's super dope. Method Man has been doing a lot.
Yeah, but the funny part is you just have reference like the old. Meth is trending right now, like especially in physical health. You got Styles, they just came and annihilated, you know, Versus, but everybody's into health. All the us older people, we are really doing things because it's just our time. Like, if you really respect the game, you got to give flowers to the older people. But I know you were going to say something about Mia Quinn, so I apologize.
Oh, no. I am in pure euphoria right now. Just hearing you talk. Please don't let me.
You know, there's so many people I can name, and I'm grateful. Grateful for like Ozzy Stewart, because I've done sales. I'm not a stylist. I came in on marketing. I knew a lot of people in the game. My boy Nelson Tabuada, like he was working for Fat Beats at that time, then got in with G Unit, like giving me CDs. I was able to. Are we
talking about Short Nelson?
Short.
Nelson?
Yes.
Yeah, I know
it was him that gave me CDs that was able to get me into clubs. So I was breaking records and not even knowing records. I was just using the CDs to get into clubs.
Yeah.
I was like to dance. So when I went out, if I knew what I knew back then, I'd probably be a multi-millionaire. I'm where I am because I never stopped. Every time somebody would be like, what are you doing here? The same thing you're doing here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I finally got to a position where I was able to do something, it was Who's Styling Who. I thank everybody who's let me do Who's Styling Who on their platform. DJ Strategy for Under the Streetlight Network. You know, there's just been so many platforms. I came from DTF Radio. I came
Shout
from
out to DTF Radio.
Came from PNC Radio, Alex. So it's where I am now. It's my resume is so long. You know, I thank everybody that's ever just allowed me to come on a set. Even if I wasn't invited, I still came.
Yeah.
You know, I got to style people like DJ K Slay, Carmen Electra. Like, my resume is so broad. And then through Starter, you know, I get to send out jackets to everybody. Like, everybody. Big shout out to Tex, like Texana Watts. Like, you know, if you don't have support in this game, like, perfect example, I didn't have to wear this, but
you didn't have to get me to match his set.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
It's dope that he provides. Like, he came to my show with you. We did the Mamante, which is bigger than a moment coming. The video, people don't understand, videographers, cinematographers. Right, thank you.
There we go.
They are more important than talent. Because without them creating, getting the right angles, making us look good, giving us the content, like, think about it, you do a whole show, they come out sometimes, like, I really respect them. I wish that we could do more. If I could give back to you guys, that's why I'm always giving clothes to my videographers, because I'm like, I might not be able to pay you because you guys are worth more than everything.
Not for nothing, but when we as cinematographers, I'll tell you something.
Okay, tell me.
When we get that gear, that's like our championship ring. Because 9 times out of 10, nobody else got it. You understand? So thank you.
But do you really know how important you guys, I think we really need to appreciate and respect when they say their rates, because as a stylist, I don't get my rate. So I understand now when you get to different levels, like now that I do my show as a video show, as you know, I respect you guys. I always respected the cameraman, but to know how important you guys really are to what we are now in a world of video. I salute you all.
Thank you.
Shout out to
all the cinematographers out there.
Yes, like, and
Shout
what you're doing is amazing.
And once again, I really appreciate you being here, because you want to know what? Not for nothing, I'll tell you a quick story, right? I used to work for G Unit. So the fact that and I was an intern, I wasn't getting paid, you know, and I was lucky to even be in the office. Shout out to LaWanna Taylor.
Oh, wow.
She's the one who actually made the play. Well, shout out to Marquand Smith, my brother.
Marquand!
We just had him on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Now, let me give a huge shout out to him. He, early on in my career, I remember before he even got his deal, he was just an actor. We make a joke about it. Marquand has always showed love, always supported the Who Styling Who show. So salute to him to see where he's at. Godfather of Harlem, like that is so huge, and I just salute him.
And once again, like that's why, you know, I'm actually here right now. Funny thing, he mentioned this on the show before, but we share the same birthday, so it's just, you know, I guess it's in the blood. You know what I'm saying? And just to be able to not only share that and share this moment with you, it means the world.
You know, I want one thing to say also to my black men. Go back and remember that you guys are kings. Remember, when we tell the story of a black man, they always were so sophisticated and dapper and dressed, and I want us to really understand the trauma that black men have gone through, from slavery to just now always having to fight. The same thing with women, you know, just as black people, we are so royal. We're the #1 consumer, our culture. We need to take it back.
Absolutely.
We need to stop killing some of the greats, right? And really going after the pioneers, uplifting the youth. Like I do a fashion show with kids, Sunny Day Kids Fashion. My partner, it's based out of Miami. My partner, Letish Roach, she's always giving back to me, like planting seeds in my life. My line, Kalia Perry, she planted that seed. I launched me for Swim Week. You know, you gotta give your flowers to people that, like, what bought me here today. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you have to thank people, because if not, you just never know. You never know when your last day is. With COVID, I lost so many people. Tony Manchin, rest in peace. People that really supported me.
How did the pandemic affect you?
Oh, it affected me in a way to remind me that my job doesn't matter. And from one day to the next, I was a non-essential worker. And then I said, well, how can I be essential? So during the pandemic, I winded up helping the elderly. My mom's an evangelist. My church, Gethsemane Baptist Church, they were feeding, you know, the shut-in, because so many people were shut in. I was out there, you know, giving care packages.
That's dope.
My pastor sowed in my life. Again, like I said, I was a teen mom that didn't get a show. If I went with the labels that people called me, I wouldn't be sitting here.